Oh man, guys, I'm trying to make it through. My sinuses are so bad right now. It's so bad right now. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you can even tell. My nose is red. But I took some medication. It should kick in, and I took it like maybe like 40 minutes ago. So hopefully it kicks in soon. Yo, same. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just a change of weather or what, but I'm gonna take a really hot shower after this, and hopefully that helps. Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. But even through the struggle, the Spurs made me feel a little bit better. That was incredible. Hold on. All right. Okay. Looks like you just woke up, bro. Does it? I've been in the house all day. Yeah, it's bad. Oh, it's bad. Castle is the new Russell Westbrook. And Castle's a better defender than Russell Westbrook. Avoid temperature gradients when you're congested. Hot shower is not a good idea, especially if you have a fever. I don't have a fever. Or I don't think I have a fever. I'm literally just... Yeah, I don't know. I thought that would clear up your nasal cavities, no? I thought hot showers is good for that. The craziest discourse I've heard surrounding around Westbrook recently is Westbrook versus Chris Paul, and people genuinely saying Westbrook better than Chris Paul. Like, what world are we living in that you think Russell Westbrook, even at peaks, like peak for peak, like, I don't know, Chris Paul is just better. I don't know where that comes from. Like, Chris Paul is genuinely better. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing he doesn't have on Russ is athleticism. Westbrook was an MVP. That doesn't mean anything. Russell Westbrook's MVP, it was impressive because he averaged a triple double, but also his team really helped him with that. But a big part of it also was like how many MVP, because what were their, hold on, because what was their seeding when he won MVP? Saying the top award in the NBA doesn't mean anything is crazy. No. I didn't mean it didn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't matter at all. I'm saying it doesn't mean anything in regards to, if someone didn't win one, if they were voted. Like Chris Paul was quite close to getting MVPs. There's plenty of great players that are better than Westbrook that don't have MVPs. And how many? I actually don't know this information, so I'm going to look it up. Because how many teams or how many players won MVP where their team was like 6th seed? Okay, Nikola Jokic won it. He was 6th seed. The lowest seed MVPs is Nikola Jokic and Russell Westbrook. Almost none, yeah. No, I'm just saying, player for player, Chris Paul was a much better player. I feel like a lot of people just didn't watch Chris Paul back when he was with the New Orleans Hornets. Is that what it is? Like, people just don't know what... I mean, but even they should at least know Clippers Chris Paul. That was a phenomenal Chris Paul. Weird. I don't know. Like... And I also feel like Chris Paul was better for longer. And then Chris Paul at the age of like 36 went to the finals. Chris Paul was goated. He was like literally, like there was a true discussion. Like there's a legitimate argument for Chris Paul being over Tony Parker. Which I think most people probably would say that he's better than Tony Parker. Which I think I would agree with that. Like Chris Paul was sick, bro. He was ridiculous. The way that he would just dissect defenses from basketball IQ alone and playmaking is like far. It's by a mile better than what Westbrook ever done. A lot of Westbrook's assists, not take away from triple double, is impressive, especially for a guard. But a lot of his assists were literal dump offs to his bigs. Whereas Chris Paul, he would just destroy you. He would just destroy you. Everybody's getting involved. Yeah. Chris Paul said we were the best team he ever played for. Yeah, he was like the best. I don't think he meant like best team as in like most talented, but like best franchise he ever played for. Yeah. Exactly. Look what Chris Paul did with Ayton. Like, Chris Paul's ridiculous, bro. Oh. Ooh. It's rough. All right. Okay. So, I apologize. I'm not sick. But my allergies are acting like my sinuses are so bad. I don't know if you guys can tell from the lighting, but my nose is getting so freaking red. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna have to fix that when I get off. But let me go ahead and give a quick shout out to two people. So shout out to Andrew and Jacob for ordering most recently. As you guys know, I went ahead and sent out all of the merch for February. So if you didn't get that, I don't know why, just check your tracking number. But if you guys are interested in some merch, go check out clanthemerchfan.com. Link in the description. Good stuff. So, but yeah, shout out to Jacob and Andrew, and just be patient with me, guys. It takes a while for me to get them out, but we're gonna finish that this month. The next week, not this upcoming week, but the week after, I'm gonna be so busy for an entire week. But I am going to the Spurs game, so that'd be nice. But anyways, all right. So San Antonio Spurs took care of business against the Hornets. Here, let me type in ESPN. Very impressive. Extraordinarily impressive. You can definitely tell that Wemby is going for his MVP in DPOY. It's very obvious. But also, I thought that the Spurs came out with the adequate amount of energy. And the Charlotte Hornets is a team that can catch fire insanely so. So it was really nice to see the Spurs keep them. I thought they were going to keep them under 100, but basically almost did. Kept them right at 102. Like, that's insane. Kept them right around 100. Let me look at the Hornets. Maybe it's not as impressive as I think it is. Okay, so they're capable of. You can see that they're capable, not always, but yeah, they have some performances here. They need some pretty bad teams, but the last time they faced us, we kept it pretty. Yeah, we kept it pretty low that time as well. But anyways, that we just know that they can catch fire at any given moment, and it felt like they were hitting almost every three that they put up. But that's just a vibe. We'll look at the stats in a minute. But overall, just my quick thoughts before looking at everyone's statistics here, these statistical categories. I have to say, I was very impressed. You guys are probably wondering if I'm about to go off on De'Aaron Fox, because as you guys know, like, there's been plenty of games where I was like, and it took me some time. Like, I was very much so positive the entire season about Fox. And it wasn't until recently, maybe like 5 games ago, where I was like, I think he should be playing a little better. But in this one, I'm actually not upset. And the reason being is because I more so care about like what you're doing, the type of shots that you're taking, your effort and aggression behind it, rather than the result all the time. Okay, the 2014 Spurs is not a team that's in a vacuum. That's a team that over a multitude of years of playing the right way and taking ideal shots and understanding your teammates, that they were able to become what they became for that season, and we're record breakers, right? So I'm very patient with stuff like that, but just as long as you're playing the right way. My biggest problem with Fox has been, the effort at times where it's like he's just not involved at all. And I know that was probably partially coaching and maybe a strategic, like, let's wait till the end of the season for him to take off. But also it was him as well. Like, I felt like sometimes he was disengaged when he does get the ball. He's making very strange decisions. But in this one, I am not upset whatsoever. I don't know what the stats are. Haven't looked at it yet. All I see right here, the Hornets one right now, before we scroll down. But I just want to say that it seemed as if he had a very poor shooting night. But I thought that his aggression was up there. I thought that he tried very hard on the defensive end. And even though he was, missing shots, I can't get mad at you just for missing shots. That happens sometimes, as long as you're attacking adequately. And I thought that he was, right? I thought he took some really good shots. But anyways, all right, so let's take a look at what actually happened with Fox. So it's actually better than I thought. 6 for 16. It felt like he only hit 3. But 6 for 16, pretty doggone good. Now, the most impressive player of this entire game, like, I don't even want to like play around with it. Okay, we got to focus on this. Wemby did Wemby things, obviously. That's not who I'm talking about. Steph Castle, because this game, this is how you know he's great, and this is how you know he's a winner, and this is how you know that he's special. Now, I've been on record saying that I don't think, especially offensively, that he's going to be as good, because I don't think he's as talented as like Dylan Harper or nothing. You don't have to pin him against each other. This isn't a this or that guy. I would like to have both of them. If we can have a big 3 with them and Vic, so be it. Big 4 with Carter, I don't care, right? I want to keep both of them, and their roles are slightly different. As far as what they bring is slightly different. But I do want to say this. How I know Steph Castle's special is the fact that I was watching this game. I didn't know the plus minus because I'm just now seeing. That's insane. But I was watching this game, and even though he made some mistakes, like, I felt like there were quite a few bad passes. They weren't lazy passes, just bad passes that happened. He was moving a little too fast with it. And he fouled quite a bit. Oh, he had 5 fouls. Yeah, he fouled quite a bit. I never once felt like he shouldn't be in the game. With many mistakes that he was making, it really did feel like he was making up for it tenfold, which obviously he did. I don't see how you have, because I think about at least 3 of his turnovers they were able to convert into points. It is insane that you're a plus 22 with 6 turnovers. Now, we needed it because Harper wasn't here as well. Like, we needed him to really play well, but I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how you get 5 fouls and 6 turnovers and have a plus 22. I don't know what to say. Impressive, nonetheless. So yeah, so that was really nice. Another thing too I want to bring up And I feel like I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but it's like, it's hard to quantify. And when you look at the stats, you know, especially somebody who's just a hater, a Spurs hater, they'll look at it if we say something about this player and just say, well, look at his stats. He's not doing that much. But, you know, they don't know what they're talking about, obviously. Carter Bryant. So he was a -3 in this game, 3 for 8 from the field. Not the best, right? 1 for 4 from 3. We would need him to do better than that, obviously. Like, we would want him to do better than that because we know he's capable of it. You know, had assists, 4 rebounds. Doesn't look like anything special. But as I've said plenty of times, Carter Bryant is one of those players that truly do swing momentum, or at least keeps the momentum up. He just helps. Like, he's kind of a tyrant on the defensive end. And he's one of those players that sometimes is not going to show up on the stat sheet, right? I used to say that about Jeremy all the time. But one thing I'll say about Carter that he does have over Jeremy is that I think he is a turnover generator. Like, not himself, but he creates turnovers quite a bit. Didn't do it in this game, but he did put so much pressure on them. Really ideal cuts. I mean, really beautiful cuts. Kudos to the Spurs for not missing them. They seemed like we caught him each time. He was just overall really, really good. Both ends of the court. I thought that he was phenomenal today. And did he make some mistakes here and there? Did he foul when he shouldn't have? Sure, but I mean, everyone fouls sometimes. The only thing I'm a little nervous about, it has nothing to do with him, is more so the coaching. Like, he has 16 minutes today, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh, thank God he's getting minutes finally. But then it's like, wait, is he only getting minutes because we don't have Harper? That makes me a little nervous. Keeping momentum, yeah, especially, and that's really important coming off the bench. But yeah, I don't know. Magic City Luke was incredible tonight. Oh my goodness. And I'm not just talking about the lobs. I just want to say that the Spurs are quite lit, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a fan. Okay, you can look at the numbers on this. Spurs defensively, when Wemby's on the court, is truly one of the greatest defensive teams in history. Like, they're up there. I think they have like a net rating similar to or net defensive rating similar to like the Bulls, like 96 Bulls or something like that. Like, it's insane. Like, they're truly one of the greatest defensive teams in history. And especially if they keep this up, it's going to be really crazy. But the funny thing about it is, we go from being a generational elite defensive team when he's on the court to a great defensive team when he's off. Because Luke Cornett, even when we don't have Wemby, we're still really good. Like, truly, like, we're still a really good defensive team. We're not somebody you could just easily score on. I know some people might have it twisted, especially if they go back to the Nuggets game. They're like, well, the Nuggets just went off. Well, I mean, I think that one you kind of needed Wemby, but Nuggets were very desperate. They made some really tough shots down the stretch. We kind of lost ourselves offensively in that game. We weren't passing the ball as much as we were prior. Yeah, we just kind of started. We just messed up. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot. The Spurs still could have won that game. Should have won that game. But overall, you know, the bigger sample size here is when Wemby's not on the court, the Spurs are still a good defensive team, like a truly good defensive team. So I just want to say Luke Cornett did his thing. I was a little disappointed in not seeing Plumlee tonight. I was hoping, I told you guys this before, like when we go back to the French Vanilla, because I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know if it would happen against the Hornets. It makes sense against their team, but I didn't know if we would do it. But I was really hoping that we'll see like Plumlee with Wemby, just so Cornett can, you know, get some more rest, and then we bring him back in and all that. But unfortunately, Plumlee didn't get to see the court, because I thought that would have been really nice to see. Let him, you know, get some reps. But this game was quite close for most of it. Convincingly, Spurs won convincingly. I never once thought like, oh my God, we're going to lose this game. We're about to lose it. I never thought that. Like I felt like we were going to win. And I felt like we had control of it over it. But I guess with the game being like within 10 for most of it, and then the Charlotte Hornets making their run, I guess Mitch just didn't feel comfortable throwing Plumlee in there in the mix. So I understand it. I understand it. But phenomenal coaching job in this one, by the way. I don't think we've seen Wemby, and it makes sense, right? Like, the Wemby is so incredible that I don't think much of any of us would have thought about this, but it does make a lot of sense. Wemby lobbing to Luke, right? It makes a lot of sense. He has so much gravity. There's no, like, what else do they do? What, like, I don't even know how you stop that, honestly. Like, with the Spurs, we all know you're going to have to pick your poison as far as who you stop and who you put bodies on, and whether or not you're going to double Wemby. I don't really know what you do. I don't know what the answer is to stopping Wemby and Luke Cornett. The only thing that worries me is you're not going to be able to do it against, like, teams that can truly, you know, each game go 5 out. Which I guess the Hornets. How did they shoot from 3 today? Wait, they only shot 33% from 3? How come it didn't feel like that? Huh. Oh, maybe it was because they took so many threes. They hit 18, but they took 54 of them. So maybe that's what it was. This game definitely felt like they were hitting at a larger clip than they did. It's just because they took so many of them. Volume. Oh, okay. Okay. They didn't even try us in the paint. They just gave up. That one play where Grant Williams, like, had a wide open, like, mid-range shot he could have attempted, and because Wemby was just, like, standing there, he's like, yeah, no. He just turns all the way around and runs away. That was funny. That was really funny. Charlotte is to be taken seriously. No, Charlotte is a good team. That's what I was saying. Like, this is an impressive win because they can just get going. Spurs didn't allow it. Hornets at any point in this game could have went off. They're explosive. The last time we played them, they made me nervous because I was like, this team is really explosive. Yeah, it made me nervous for the next time we met them, or we were going to meet them. I was like, they can just get going. At the beginning of the game, it looked kind of scary. But they were struggling. They were really struggling against Wemby. So, but Wemby was phenomenal. Everyone was phenomenal. I'm not mad at Fox today. I thought he took good shots. He took 16 shots. Most of them were really good looks. It just wasn't knocking down, right? But the effort was there everywhere. Like, he was involved in just about every play. Defensively, he was involved. You can even see it here. Wait, he had a block. Who did he block? Chad, who did Fox block? Did I miss that? I know he attempted that block and it sent I think Khan to the line. Who the heck did he block? I recall the steals. I don't know if you guys remember. I do not remember him blocking anybody. But okay. Yeah, maybe you guys don't know. Yeah, I guess nobody in chat probably knows. That's a random. Anyways, so we had 5 blocks, one of which came from Fox, apparently. But yeah, I'm not mad at Fox. Fox was good today. Even if we lost this game, and I was, you know, I don't base everything off of just the win or loss or anything. I mean, unless it's dependent on, you know, what we did down the stretch, and then I can criticize somebody, I guess. But overall, you know, even watching this game and Hornets came back or started to come back, I even questioned myself. I was like, well, if the Spurs lose this game, like, how do I feel about Fox's performance? And honestly, even if he missed, you know, well, he did miss quite a few shots, but if he missed even more shots, I wasn't really mad at him this game. Like, he was engaged. I think the Hornets ramped up the physicality a little bit, and, you know, with Fox being as small as he is, that makes it a little tough for him. But most of his shots were pretty doggone good. By the way, Devin Vassell hit 1 3 today. We got to give him some love. He hit 1 3 today, and it was probably the most impactful 3-pointer of the game to extend that lead. I mean, it was really good 3-pointer, good timing, everything. I love to see Devin Vassell, like, let the game come to him. He's not one that's forcing a lot of shots, because I think when he first came back, the Spurs started force feeding it to him a little bit. And they did it after that as well, which I'm not mad at them for doing, because he has such a great performance, or when he started coming back, he was shooting well and everything. But it was a little, it was a little frustrating. It's like, Devin, just not force threes. Just not jack up threes. But he was very decisive in this one. He did a lot of other stuff that just doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He's a really good connector. That's something that, a lot of people didn't expect. I was actually talking about how Devin Vassell was a good passer maybe 3-4 years ago, where I was like, Devin is a very underrated passer. But yeah, so he did his thing. Very selective and smart with his shots. Julian Champagnie, he had a +7 today, but Julian didn't shoot that well, but it's okay. It happens. But he had 2 steals. Spurs had a total of 7 steals in this game, which is pretty doggone good. But they had 7 as well. They had 7 as well. But yeah, I think another thing that's pretty interesting here is, they didn't empty their bench, but they played quite a few players. Hornets were trying to throw as much as they could at us, whereas the Spurs, we had a pretty tight knit team. Oh, I didn't even mention this. Somebody asked, like, how did I feel about Barnes this game? I thought Barnes did okay. Like, he didn't shoot well, obviously. You can see the stats. Like, he didn't take that many shots, but he spaced the floor pretty well. And I think the team as a whole do not care who scores, and that's a really great thing to see, because Harrison Barnes isn't out there like, I need to prove it to anybody on what I can do or anything. That last game when we lost it and everyone was praising Barnes, I loved it. I was like, yes, Barnes did a good job, but overall, you do not play Barnes and Keldon that amount of minutes like you did, and Carter just gets 9 now. Like, I thought that was ridiculous. He should not be under 10, and we definitely needed some momentum swings in that last one. And Harrison Barnes, he can produce shots when he's on, but, when he's not, he's just adequate, right? He's just adequate. But in this one, he didn't necessarily impose his will. He didn't try to force anything. He was pretty much like, hey, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to shoot it. And if I don't, okay, I'm going to be this nice pillar on the team that's going to make the right passes, make the right plays, be engaged defensively. And he was fine. He was doable. Carter Bryant was the one where the big plays is what shifts momentum, right? He had two dunks that was like, whoa. His 3-pointer was very timely, right? So, like, he can really shift it or just keep it up. But yeah, Clan, you should. Oh my God, you guys just complain about anything. Clan, you should stop scrolling all the time. It kind of hard on my eyes, and we just can't follow you. So, and as you can see here, Devin Vassell's stats are pretty doggone good. As you can see, Wembanyama, I mean, those percentages. You guys see that? You see those percentages? You see those percentages by Wemby? It is really impressive, the fact that he went 5 for 10 from 3. What? 50% from 3, guys. 50% from 3. Isn't that insane? Anyways. Oops. Yeah, you did a good job. We go into these games, bro, and I don't even know what to say about Wemby. Like, I'm lost for words. Something we've never seen before. What just fell? Something just fell. I don't know what it was. But yeah. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was listening to the main broadcast, and if I was a Hornets fan, I would have been so upset because they were glazing Wemby. Like coming from somebody who's been, this isn't a hot take. Most people probably think this. Like, me saying, I think Wemby will end up being the greatest of all time, which is insane. Like, I think he'll be better than Jordan one day. With me saying that, I still thought that the glaze was crazy. Like, it was certain things where it's like, wait, Wemby didn't even do much on that. Or it was like, wait, he's been doing that all season. That's not, you know. But there were plenty of plays where I completely understood the plays. Like, ridiculous. Another thing, too, is I keep telling you guys this. I really want you guys to do this. Go back last season, watch some highlights of Wemby, and you remember him being great, and you're not going to recognize him if you watch him last season. He is so much better offensively. So much. Like, substantially better. It's not just the Spurs having more talent. Like, he is just so much stronger, dude. Unironically, Grant Williams being on him last season might have deterred him a little bit. Nah. Hornets announcers hyped up every team. Oh, is that what it was? Dale Curry was in awe of him. Yeah, Dale Curry was like, what the heck is going on? That alley-oop to Cornette was like, that's we're seeing stuff from him. It's similar to people in the 90s when they saw Jordan, right? Or 80s and 90s, where they were like, this is something I've never seen before. Or maybe Magic, like, this is something I've never seen before. But like Wemby, this is genuinely something I've never seen. Someone that tall be able to do what he did. Insane. But anyways, those are my thoughts on this game. Really impressive. I'm proud of my team. Oh, my nose is getting better. Cool. I guess that thing wasn't lying takes about an hour. I think that's like right on the mark. But yeah, great stuff. Coach of the year. Oh wait, are you saying coach of the year? What are you saying? He's really great. Mitch Johnson was really great in this. He was in his bag. Spurs ran quite a few plays. He was in his bag, y'all. He was in his bag. I love this team. Yeah, I love this team. All right, moving on. All right, there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about. One of which is something that's gone viral. There's something that's gone viral. I want to talk to you guys about it. Lads, are Spurs staying up in where? What should we do? Because there's a couple things I want to talk about, but the Spurs literally play. Let me see. When we play on Monday, right? Monday night against the Clippers. Oh, it's a late one. It's a really late one. We got a back-to-back late games. Who did a presser today? I want to hear Mitch. I'm trying to think how we should divide it up, because we're gonna literally go live that night. So, okay. So Wemby talked. Did Wemby and Mitch talk? Okay, Wemby and Mitch talk. All right. So okay. All right, we're going to do a twofer. We're going to listen to Mitch and Wemby. But before we do that, I wanted to go over something that I thought was insane. No, the NBC interview would definitely be copyrighted. See if I can find it. I think I reposted it. Like, what is this? Guys, who is that interviewer? Who was that interviewer that posted on TikTok? Of Wemby. It was a woman, and she had her pictures next to Wemby over the years from rookie year to now. You guys remember? What was her name? If you don't, I'll have to go through my old videos. Let me see. It's AI. What's AI? Tell her. Oh, her. Oh, wait. Are you saying the image going around Twitter is AI? On the team photo? Let's see. I think it is AI. What are we talking about? It's Rachel something. Yeah, Rachel. Rachel Demita. There was something else. There was like AI of, man, it's been gross. I saw some AI of hold on. Why is this on? I saw something crazy that was AI. Or I thought was so gross. They had like Wemby, and it was his sister, and then it was like she was pregnant. It's like Wemby's having a baby, and like it was on Facebook, and there were so many people like, "Congratulations, Wemby." I'm like, you guys are idiots. Like, why is Facebook full of idiots? Like, it's truly full of idiots. Like no wonder you can just sway elections literally from Facebook. Like, it's full of idiots. It's getting weird. It was so bad, bro. So bad. I was telling everyone it's AI. It's crazy you have to tell people that that's AI. Like, I know AI is getting, like, really real, right? But to some extent, it's like you see something, you should just take it as face value so quickly. Like, look it up. And if you're a Spurs fan and you keep up with Wemby, and you're obviously on social media, how do you not know what's going on with Wemby or the team? Like, I know that we're kind of obsessive over here. Like, we'll talk about every little thing. But just like, you're on Facebook, you see this, like, oh, he's pregnancy picture. You don't follow Wemby? You don't follow him on Instagram or follow him on Twitter? You, like, how do you not, you don't at least keep up with him? Like, you're on a Spurs page. You're following a Spurs page. You don't follow Wemby. I guarantee you, not like all you guys, I guarantee you, like 99% of you follow Wembanyama. Like, you obviously have social media. You're on YouTube. In the chat, that is. I mean, in the chat, you guys commenting and interacting. Like, you guys follow Wemby. I don't know. AI is so gross. Okay. So when you guys are saying AI, you're not talking about this, are you? This ain't what you're talking about, right? Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. Even Spurs would announce that, no? That Wemby's having a baby? Nah, Spurs wouldn't announce that. They wouldn't announce that. I don't think they've ever done that for any player. I don't see why you would either. Too personal? Yeah, it's just kind of, yeah, you're not going to bring it up. People forget what social media used to be like. Like, players used to interact with people all the time. Like early days of Twitter, they used to interact all the time. I think PR really got in the middle of it and it's like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Like, you guys got to stop. Because even Sohan followed me. He was following me for a while. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't create any controversy. And then out of nowhere, he just wasn't following me and a few other fans. And it's just like, oh, like PR is like, don't do it. Kevin Durant ruined Twitter. It's never just one person, but I mean, maybe. Players still obviously interact. They just have burner accounts. I bet you LeBron got a burner. We just haven't discovered it yet. You almost made it for your first live without mentioning Sohan. I mentioned him earlier. I failed pretty early. But that's how you learn, guys. Failure is a good thing. Do not be afraid of failure. Okay. So, guys. So first and foremost, big shout out to Jacob and Andrew. I got your orders in. I will be sending out some merch at the end of this month. So thank you for your orders. I do appreciate the love. If anybody else is interested, please go check it out. clanthemerchfan.com. Link in the description. And yeah, everyone that ordered in February, you already got your stuff, or you should be getting it. I don't know why you wouldn't have gotten it yet, but you should be getting it pretty soon. Just look at your tracking number. And then, everyone that's ordering in March, I'll start working on it when I get everything. That'll be near the end of this month. But I do appreciate all the love nonetheless. Oh, Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. Okay. So I almost made a shirt about Mr. Freeze. But anyways. So do you guys recall this when we talked about it? And people were Spurs logo. And you get right here, she's way under it. She's almost under, she's like in the middle of the one. Well, we got some confirmation, okay? All of our insane Sherlock Holmes detective work actually paid off, okay? We were Batman, and now it paid off for us, okay? We're gonna feel so validated. So this was posted recently, showing Wembanyama's height. And as you can see, with Zach Collins, he's pretty doggone close. Now, this is what's crazy. So, people were saying that he was about 7'3". I think this says 7'4", but I recall people saying he's 7'3". Now, even I think it was his rookie year, that Giannis even said, or maybe it was his second year, but Giannis said he is way taller than 7'3". We had Boban last year say, when I look up to Wemby, like I'm freakishly tall and I look up to him. He's taller than what they say he is. Well, now we got the newest team photo. He's standing, and by the way, why they got it looking like this? Like that was just dark times. Like look at how look at the tone of the whole thing. Good God, dude. It's like a Zack Snyder film. But anyways, but you look over here. And everybody's all happy. You can see everyone looks sad here, and everybody's all happy here. But Luke Cornett, 7'1", and you can see Wembanyama. There is no way that is taller than 7'4". So I'm thinking Wemby's like 7'6". And I don't really. I really want to know. I don't understand it, so I want somebody to explain it because I'll take whatever explanation you have for this one. Because I don't know why this is the case. How come Wemby? How come we don't know exactly how tall he is? Is there some type of advantage you get as a player for people not knowing? I remember when they asked Wemby, and he said, "It doesn't matter. I'm taller than everyone." That's a horrible Wemby expression, but that sounded more like Shaq impression. But it sounded more like Shaq. But like, I remember when he said that. He was like, "It doesn't matter. I'm taller than everybody." Is this some type of advantage, or do you keep the lure? Is this like a? I don't understand. Is this an aura thing? Does it help your brand? I don't get it. Not knowing how tall he is, because we know how tall most people. Like Yao Ming, you knew how tall he was. Oh, because the taller you are, the worse it looks. No one likes tall guys that are not marketable according to shoe reps. Tall guys don't sell shoes. But he's Wemby. He's Wemby. Wemby's going to sell shoes. He's Wemby. It's like one of those things where like people can't relate. I just can't relate. I know AI shoes were flying off the shelf. I remember my brother went crazy over the new AIs that kept coming out. Tall guys sell spaceships. Oh, that makes sense. Speaking of being tall. Okay, was this AI? Okay, so earlier, this is before we started. This probably won't be in this segment, but I was talking to the chat during this live stream about AI, and now I need to ask you guys a question, okay? I just got on to people that are on Facebook that are very dumb, that fall for AI all the time. It makes a lot of sense. If you go on Facebook, it makes a lot of sense why people have certain views that they have about the world, because they just fall for everything. But I need to make sure this isn't AI, right? Let me ask you guys this. I don't think it is. But like, I don't think it is. But it would have been an old video that kind of got rehashed. Hold on. See if I can show you. Yeah, this. This ain't AI, right? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know about that. Is this AI? This ain't AI. Stop! Okay. This isn't AI, but I don't know when this would have been. I don't think this is AI. No, it's just old. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this might just be old, because I was like, look how much hair he has. Like, how old is this? Huh. Anywho. Clan, you watched the new Disclosure Day trailer? No. What's that? Was it good? I'll have to check it out. I think this is old, actually. Yeah, I think it's pretty old. But if you guys want to, first off, here, I'll just throw some memes at you, okay? I should throw these more into these segments just so you guys have a good time. Keldon Johnson be like, hey! 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 How does that make it more? I love it, but how does that make it more convincing? How does it make it more convincing that you were? I don't know. Because even if somebody hits you, you're not gonna make that sound. It's gonna be like, oh, like ah, but every single time, hey, hey. I love it so much. Oh yeah, the Fred. Okay, yeah, we do need to do the Fred thing, the Fred VanVleet thing. They love to hate. They love to hate, don't they? We'll do that in the other segment. And then I wanted to show you guys. Hold on, didn't I repost it? Oh, this. Look at this.
First time, Keldon Johnson here. I got Devin Vassell. We just did our team photos, staff photos. Hold up.
And it's me, Judy, and Stephanie.
Oh my God. I'm telling you.
And Foxy. Oh, and Dylan.
This going on the Spurs page. Go Spurs,
Back
go.
in the flesh.
We love y'all.
Back in the...
I love Carter Bryant so much. He's so funny. One thing I really love about this team is they're okay with not being cool. Like, this is cool. Like, by not caring, you're cool. Okay. I feel, and this is my haterade coming out, okay? When it comes to the OKC Thunder, I feel like they try too hard to be cool, and they're just kind of lame, right? But this team, they're cool because they don't care. Like, this is dope. This is like true, like this feels like true friends, right? One thing people didn't catch in this clip was Steph Castle. Steph Castle is usually very quiet, very chill, you know, not say that much. He probably seems like, Vassell is probably the more like stereotypical cool person on this team. But Devin Vassell is, not Devin Vassell, sorry. Steph Castle is right next to Devin on that. But look at sorry, dang it, I keep getting them mixed. Look at Steph Castle.
Photos. Hold up.
And it's me, Judy, and Stephanie.
Oh my God. I'm telling you.
You didn't catch that, did you? Look how goofy they are. Castle said, "Hi guys."
Judy and Stephanie.
Oh my God. I'm telling you.
And Foxy.
He said, "Hey guys." No one caught that because you're not used to him being goofy. They all love each other.
Oh my God. I'm telling you.
And Foxy.
This going on the Spurs page. Go Spurs.
Love it. Thoughts on Carter's new tattoos? They're cool. Carter butterfly tats. It's for his sisters. I think that's what he explained. Y'all mad about his tattoos? The butterflies, brother? I'm sure. You know, a lot of. I have more well, it's not that I have disrespect for anybody, but like I'll just say this. I have a lot of respect, or I'm at awe when people get tattoos and it means something. So, like truly means something. So I'm sure there's something when it comes to those butterflies, when it comes to his family, that holds some type of meaning. You're just curious about the meaning behind it. I don't know why the butterflies specifically, but I think it has to do with his sisters or something. Love the chemistry. Yeah, they all just love each other, bro. It's great. It's just such good energy. Like, and during games, you can really see it, you know. And when you're really close like this, like truly close, because this is like coffee gang level of closeness. When you're this close, you can hold each other accountable. You can get on to one another. Nobody's going to be pointing the finger at anybody. Funny enough, they're pointing the finger right now. They're pointing the finger at us, but they're not going to point the finger at each other. So, yeah, I just love to see it. Yeah, I just love to see it. Anyways, let's move on. All right, you guys are completely right as far as Clan. You have to talk about Fred VanVleet. Okay, I have not watched the should we go to the whole interview? I know there's clips. I guess we'll just watch the clips. Hold on, before we do, see guys, the benefit of being a Spurs YouTuber is that I have receipts for everything. Oh, guys. The benefit of being a Spurs YouTuber is that I have posted so much over the years, I can always go back. It's Unguarded Pod. Okay. Let's see. Let me duplicate this. Fred VanVleet. He said Unguarded Pod. Unguarded Pod. And let's see if they have oop, messed up. $5 days. No, that's not it. 1 day ago. Okay.
Not having played or not being.
Gosh, when did he mention the Spurs?
I feel like at one point.
Crap. All right, give me a second. It's his own. Oh, it's his own podcast. Dang, everybody got a podcast. I thought he was featuring on it. All right, hold on. I just got to open up the transcript. Then I got to find. Wait, isn't there AI on here now? Oh, ask questions. Here we go. When does the discussion about Spurs start? This is good use of AI. Spurs and their game against Houston Rockets begins at 4:31. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to go over what Fred VanVleet had to say about my beloved San Antonio Spurs. The same team that just recently gave his team the belt. The same team that has been phenomenal all season long. The same team that's a contender. And the Houston Rockets are pretenders. Let's just be completely honest. Let's be completely real here. Now, the benefit of, because there's not that many benefits. I'm just kidding. There's lots of benefits. But the benefit of being a Spurs content creator is I have years, backlogs of things I can go back to. And when we talk about certain topics, it's like PTSD. I can always have these flashbacks of other things that happened, other things that was said in the past. And with Fred VanVleet, I don't know if you guys recall, but there is a little bit of a history there. It felt like it was just me and a few people that were upset about this, but good God Almighty, I do not like Fred VanVleet, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Now, before we get into the pod and see what he had to say about the Spurs, before I show you what he said in the past, big shout out to Jacob and big shout out to Andrew for ordering most recently on the shop. So if you guys are interested, go check it out. Link in the description, clanthemerchfan.com. I will be sending out orders at the end of this month, maybe the beginning of next. I'm super busy this month, but as long as you're patient with me, I do appreciate the love, and I appreciate how kind you guys have been and supporting the channel the way that you do. And yeah, now we'll be closing down the shop in the next few months because, as you guys know, I'm making a huge move to Japan. So that'll be a huge life-altering thing. But yeah, so let's go ahead and go over it. Is it the, oh yeah, Huncho, you've been around for a while. Huncho, you've been around for a while. Chatter has already got it. But I wanna show you guys something. So I posted this a while ago. All I had to do is type in Fred VanVleet, F-Pop, Clan the Spurs fan. After the Toronto Raptors won their championship, as you guys know, the entire narrative shifted from, wow, it's Kawhi's fault, to Kawhi's the greatest player to ever walk this earth and he's not at fault and the Spurs should have held on to him. And people are just they're just a prisoner of the moment, okay? Because this didn't make him any more right with how they went about it just because they won a championship. But this was what happened during a live stream. You guys hear that?
I ain't gonna do y'all dirty like that, but hey.
So as you can see, I think what he did there was he like held onto the mic or maybe covered the mic and moved it away just to say F-Pop. And then it's like, okay, that could have been playful. When I first heard it, I was like, oh man, oh my gosh, you guys are so annoying. And then when he did it the second time, it's like, okay, this is kind of gross. What are we doing? What are we talking about? One more time. Yeah, anyways, very lame, very dumb, very silly. But yeah, I haven't really liked Fred VanVleet ever since then. I think he's a really good player, and I think that if he was on the Rockets right now, they will be in a much better position. Even though the seeding they are where they are, it's actually quite confusing because they are not as good as their seeding is, like, at all. So they're a little weird of a team, but I think they would be better if they had them. But nonetheless, you know, did I just poison the well? Yes, because I don't really like them. So let's listen to what he had to say about the Spurs, because I'm sure it's very insightful and non-biased at all.
Hey, well, speaking of ruffling feathers, on Sunday night, San Antonio Spurs defeated the Houston Rockets by a score 145-120.
Belt to ass.
Hey, man, look, all I'm going to say is this.
If I access my belt.
And Fred, you can speak to this more. It seemed like you all started the rebuild at the same time, but they look like they head and shoulders above. And I'm not just talking about with Wemby. Like, you can remove Wemby from that team. He got hurt earlier in the...
I love how honest it... What is this? This is from Fred VanVleet's YouTube channel. Usually when they do these pods with like current players, people are so afraid to say anything. They just agree with everything that they have to say. Let's listen. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's you. Oof.
Season, and they were still able to move on and to get to where they are right now. As far as I think they're second in the West, if I'm not mistaken, and they're right on the heels of Oklahoma City, and they're not afraid of Oklahoma City. They've beaten them on multiple occasions, but when you go back and you watch that game, what do you feel like y'all could have done better to get over that hump?
Well, let's slow down for a second. Because I can only talk about the last 3 years. I don't know what they was doing before I got here,
For sure.
us or them. We were better than them the last 2 years, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're better than us this year, you would say. You would say
Yes.
they're a better team than us this year.
What was the? It's no better than you. They're just better than you. There's no. You would say the Spurs are better. No, we're just better. We're not better. We're better.
I would say a better team, and if I'm talking about right
Better
now,
team or
from
better
the
team?
future looks better too.
Okay,
Or
what's
the
the
other
finish
day.
line?
The finish line is to win the finals.
So, have they done that?
They haven't yet.
Have they had a playoff series?
They haven't.
Okay. So
Not yet.
everybody slow the fuck down. It's a marathon. It's
Yeah.
not a sprint. They in front of us right now, literally in the standings. And then you could judge everything based upon they look like this or they look like this or this player is better than this player. Yeah, Wemby's an alien. Castle's a really good player. Harper looks like a really good player. Actually played with his brother in Toronto.
So is he saying that you can't compare teams until they win a championship, or they get to their you see a playoff series? The Spurs are better than the Houston Rockets. There's no better. They're just better than the Houston Rockets, easily. We gotta sit here and wait, and then once the Spurs make it to the Western Conference Finals, and if the Spurs lose, then that somehow makes the Rockets better? All he said was, what could you have guys... I hope he answered it. What could you have guys done better in that game? And also, just say the Spurs are better right now. We are. He's like, well, Well, I guess he won't say that. It's his team. He ain't going to just say that. But
So I like their team they got, but Fox was a great addition. They rolling. They're having a good year. Yeah. But what's the finish line though? You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say that now in the moment, and being 100, they beat our ass. They beat the skin off our ass.
Yeah.
okay, he's being real, guys. He's being real.
But I don't remember, and this is my ignorance to the fandom and the social media verse of how we consume the game. Everybody taking all these victory laps and we was just beating their ass.
Yeah. No.
What? What? Are you that You're not that disconnected. You were all over social media saying. Yeah. Talk about victory laps. Wait, no, that's not. What is he talking about? That's like a normal thing. Come on, Clan. What do you mean, Caps? What'd I say? That's like a normal thing each year. That happens all the time. The Spurs were sunning the Houston Rockets forever, from the beginning of history. And Houston Rockets, have a better team. They trade away some pieces, brought some pieces in. They just had a better team than us, and they ran victory laps. The fandom ran victory laps all over us. What that happens? I'm a little confused. Imagine if he said F San Antonio. Yeah, F San Antonio.
I get it.
Well, you say F Pop, you basically say F San Antonio. I don't care.
And so from my seat, without me, without Steven, yeah. But how can you fairly judge that? You grading them under two different circumstances.
Yeah, but they last year they were without. I think Wemby was out for.
Yeah, he's out for a while, right?
And so I guess it's almost like the roles reversing there.
For sure, and you take your lumps. This is the beauty of the game.
I don't think so. I don't think the Spurs missing Wemby is the same as the Houston Rockets missing Fred VanVleet. I I don't know. I don't think that that's the same, honestly. Sorry. I don't think that's the same, honestly. Sorry.
Damn, you take your lumps, when you down, and goddamn when you up, then you can take your victory lap. So they having a moment in terms of that. But like my thing is, it's a million different ways to get to the end goal. And I went through 2 sweeps before I won the championship. We got swept back to back before I won the championship on the 3rd year.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
And then it's not till you win it till you validate it. Yeah. So up until that point, everything is a failure. It's gonna be 2019.
Yeah, this is. I'm sorry. I feel like the argument here has been shifted a little bit. Like the initial argument was, like, the Spurs are looking really good. They beat y'all. What could you have done differently? He has yet to answer that. But instead, we shifted the conversation into saying everybody else is too excited about the Spurs, which, I mean, I guess, yeah, once you get to the playoffs, you'll really get to see what you're made of. But I've been watching this team all season. I've seen lots of Spurs teams. I've seen championship caliber Spurs teams. I've seen Spurs teams where I felt like, yeah, we're probably losing first, second round. I've seen so many teams. I've seen our bad years, our mediocre years. And this team is by far, one of the best San Antonio Spurs teams I've ever seen, period. They truly are a contender. And in this NBA, one thing that's in our advantage is that they changed so many rules where teams can't necessarily just create these massive super teams anymore. It's not a bunch of teams just trying their best to pack as much talent to fight that team that has a big 3 right now because they were able to pay for them, or they're in a bigger market. It's everybody. Lots of teams have some legitimate shots. I think Nuggets still have a legitimate shot. Obviously, the Thunder are probably most people's favorites, right? Pistons fallen off a little bit, but they have a legitimate shot, I think. I think the Knicks have a shot. Boston just now getting Tatum back. They have a shot. Like, there's a lot of teams with a lot of talent that have legitimate shots that could go to Game 7s and anything can happen, right? And go to that next round. So it's a beautiful league, and that actually plays into our favor a lot because we're one of the best franchises in the NBA. We're very smart with contracts. We're very smart with how we maneuver guys and what we do, and who we bring in. So the Spurs having this amount of success this quickly, it doesn't feel like we just got some talent and we're getting kind of lucky here. The Spurs are winning not just by one facet of our game. The Spurs are winning so many different ways. I cannot count how many times I've seen the Spurs win games in different ways. And that's what makes them special. That's actually what championship teams do. Once again, thinking back on my past San Antonio Spurs, right? Those teams, especially the championship dynasty that we created, they could do that. Any given night, if you're shooting poorly, you still find a way to win. If you're down by 30, you can still find a way to win. Doesn't matter. We have done so many different ways. The Spurs have won games based on ball movement before, where that was kind of the main driving force. Big plays down the stretch, where we get really clutch. I've seen the Spurs, win off of defense. Most of the time win off of defense. I've seen the Spurs win from one player. Maybe Devin Vassell goes off one night. Maybe Dylan Harper goes off another night. Like, no matter what, and now teams kind of know how to play us or their best shot, and they still lose. So now the Spurs they've been given every single thing that could be thrown at them at this point. At least from the season, going on and going against some really good teams. Now the playoffs obviously is going to be harder, but not only I think it's going to be harder for us, it's going to be harder for the other teams because defense is really important in the playoffs as well. And the Spurs got one of the best ones. So, not just one of the best. When Wemby's on the court, generational type of defense. Like, they're equivalent to the 96 Chicago Bulls. Like, they're really great. So, with that being said, all I'm saying is, yeah, you can sit here and you can say, like, well, they got to do this first. They got to do that first. Yeah, that's great. I understand. We don't have experience. That could hurt us. I think certain teams match up really well against us. I would hate to go to the finals and meet the Knicks. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Not that I think that we're not better. It's just that they're built in a way that could really hurt us. But because the Spurs have found so many different ways to win, because they've continuously built camaraderie and built chemistry, and guys are playing so well off each other, and you topple that with they're not even as good as they could be this season. They could still improve in the next few games, just because Carter Bryant is getting more play time, he's getting more reps, he's getting more minutes, and then you have De'Aaron Fox ramping it up as well, because obviously we've played more so through Castle for a majority of the season, and now he can get better and he can get hot going into the playoffs. So the Spurs can be even better, and I think maybe a step better than what they are right now. This is truly a special team. I think they're really good, and as much as I agree with, hey, maybe you need to pump the brakes, I pumped the brakes earlier in this season. I've seen a big enough sample size right now where I can say, yeah, they're really good. And perfect thing too about us, I'm sorry, I'm not letting him finish, but like another thing that I think is really great about the Spurs, I just don't want to lose this thought, is us being in a position as second seed, and we're probably stuck in second, first, probably gonna be stuck in second, which is fine, is because we don't have that experience, we kind of need a first round that's gonna be challenging. Obviously, no matter what, you're in the playoffs, it's gonna be challenging, but you need a first round where you're playing against, you're getting used to that playoff feel. Like, I think back on that Cubs game, the final Cubs game, and the Spurs, they played really hard early on against the Knicks, but they also just seemed a little out of sorts in a way, right? A little too, I don't want to say anxious, but their speed was a little too high. And I think when they get to the playoffs, they're going to be a little nervous, and obviously they're going to be locked in, but they're going to make some mistakes. And it's nice to be in that position where you're second seed, where you can get that experience in that first round, and then things ramp up after. Because I would hate for us to be stuck where the Nuggets are right now, or like stuck where the Timberwolves are right now. Like, that just doesn't seem like a great place to be. But yeah, because you're going to get a crazy first round. So, all right, sorry, that was a lot of yapping, but
teams not winning the championship this year. It's only a few of them that's going to be disappointed that they don't win it.
But on Sunday, though, on Sunday, I mean, on Sunday, it just looked like it looked totally.
He keep going back. Thank you. Get back to the topic.
They rolling right, but I ain't gonna lie. In a 7-game series, still ain't fucking with us. You know what I'm saying? And right now, we still ain't really meshing as we should. The people see that, the fans see that. You know what I'm saying? We done lost some games that we for sure should have won. The guys.
Who guarding Wemby? Let's be for real. Who guarding Wemby? Who gonna guard Wemby on the Houston Rockets? Şengün? Who gonna guard Wemby? Who gonna stop Wemby? Please enlighten me.
It still seemed like a little bit of friction on who to go to and this, that, and the third and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I honestly still feel like in a 7-game series, ain't nobody fucking with us right now. This without our guy.
You got the Spurs as the favorite in the West.
No, I don't have them as the favorite in the West,
them
but I got them right behind OKC.
Okay, so you got them second
fair.
where they at. So you got them over Denver, Minnesota, us, Lakers.
Warriors, Suns, Timberwolves.
We gonna see.
Yeah,
we're gonna see,
because they look like they clicking it. They all clicking at the right time, and with the way that they're playing. So I mean, if we keeping it 100, they look like they knew what they were doing. And a lot of times a lot of times on Sunday night, it looked like the Rockets was just out of sync, like a step slow.
Right.
They driving to the lane, kicking out. It's the exact same thing that happened in Miami, driving to the lane, kicking out. And so if you 60 games in, 61, 62 games in, and Ime is still talking about we got to try to figure it out. You ain't got that much time.
Yeah, that's why that's a crazy statement to be like, they still not gonna mess with us once we get to the playoffs. Yeah, no, it doesn't. You don't just start clicking like that. Like, chemistry is a big thing. I'm telling you, that whole group chat thing that Kevin Durant had going on, that did not help at all. I mean, they can pretend like they're fine and everything. They're going to try to stay professional. That did not help, right? There's some underlining, like, maybe animosity is too strong of a word, but it's something underneath the surface that's there. You can kind of tell at times with how they get onto each other. Because I've seen the Spurs get onto each other, and it is not the same as when I see the Houston Rockets do it. No. But yeah, anyways, he's completely right. Like, the Spurs know what they're doing, clicking at the right time, and it's not just talent at this point. Like, like I said, you're winning. I don't have to keep repeating this, but you're winning in many different ways.
Left, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
But they only got down second.
That's fair. I think the fair criticism of this year and this team so far has been like what it looked like in the process of it. The thing that's weird, and which is why you have to give the guys some credit, is we still third in the West. After all of that, after everything that we see.
That's what I said. How are y'all third? You shouldn't be third. You shouldn't be third. How are you third? You should not be third. Let me take a look at something. I mean, Rockets are not a good team. I'm sorry. Probably third because of KD. Let's see. All right, let's see some of these wins. You see the most recent losses. All right. Most recent losses. Nuggets, you get blown out by the... Come on, let's be honest, guys. Let's be so real. This team is not good. You get blown out by the Nuggets. You get blown out by the Spurs. You lose to the Warriors. Let's see. Who's another? You lose to the Heat. You lose to the Knicks. You barely beat the Hornets. You lose to the Clippers. This is not a good team. So some of their most recent performances, you should say back to February 11th, so that would be a month. So in the last month, they've lost to the Clippers, the Knicks, the Heat, the Warriors, the Spurs, and the Nuggets. But the teams they beat were the Pelicans, Raptors, Trailblazers, Wizards, Kings, Magic, Jazz again. Oh wait, no, that wasn't the Jazz again. Then they played the Jazz as well, and barely beat the Hornets. This is a bad team. It's just an easy stretch, just an easier stretch. But most recently in the past month, every time they go against a good team, they lose. Yeah, Houston is not a good team. My dream, this is what I want to happen. Okay? This is what I want to happen. I want the Houston Rockets to stay right where they're at. And I want the Nuggets and the Timberwolves to continue to win. I need the Lakers to lose. And I want Lakers right at that 6th seed. Okay? That's what I want. I want the first round to be the Houston Rockets versus the Lakers 6th seed. Because if we get the Houston Rockets versus the Lakers, that means second round, we're getting the Houston Rockets or the Lakers. So that would be perfect. That would be great. Spurs first round, you go against the Suns or whoever make it in. You know, maybe it's the Warriors. I don't know. Maybe the Trailblazers. Who knows? No, Trailblazers ain't gonna. They probably ain't gonna make it. But you start off. You have to say it's the Suns. The Spurs face the Suns first round. All right, that's gonna be a tough one, but I think we win. We pull it out, and then you'll have the Houston Rockets and the Lakers, and then that's when things get real. Yeah, because the Rockets are a joke. What a horrible argument. You guys been losing to some of the best teams in the NBA recently.
Sometimes it look like we don't know what we're doing. Sometimes we don't bring it. Sometimes this, sometimes that. We still third. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And for most people, that would be enough. But it's like you add KD, and now you have championship aspirations and championship expectations. Yeah. And so if you don't live up to that, then everything is a failure. But if you're just taking it at face value, I feel like our men is taking a jump this year. For sure. I think that Reed is taking a huge jump this year. And Alpe's been up and down, but Alpe's now is a two-time All-Star, which wasn't the case before I got here. KD's been playing at an MVP level. Bari has taken a jump. And Tari was leading the league in three-point percentage before this recent stretch. So it's like, it's always, obviously I'm biased, so I'm going to put my rose-tinted glasses on. But like just as easy as...
Yeah, this just sounds like just like a fan.
It is to criticize this shit. It's easy to look at it with the optimistic aspect too.
Yeah, and I'm only talking about...
What is it? Criticize the Spurs. Because the only thing you've said is Spurs haven't won a championship. Wemby ain't won a championship. How about you like criticize the Spurs? Like how are you going to beat the Spurs? What is it about the Rockets that tells you that they'll be able to beat the Spurs in a 7-game series? Like, because, I mean, use it against the Spurs. Can you be optimistic? Of course you can't. But, like, sit there and, like, criticize them. Just say, okay, well, the Spurs don't have this and they don't have that and they're missing this and they're missing that. The only thing I would say that the Spurs are missing, well, I think a couple things are a power forward, right? I think we gonna need one of those. That might bite us in the butt. But also, I think another maybe 3-and-D wing would be really nice, having something like that. Other than that, I'm chilling. We got Plumlee, but I don't know if we'll use him a lot. So that's it. And experience. That's it. That's the everything else. We're kind of perfect team.
I'm only mentioning like just that game against the Spurs, and it almost looks like now the Spurs are the measuring stick. I mean, outside of OKC, it looks like the Spurs are the measuring stick. And along those same lines, I'm gonna talk about you mentioned somebody that I can't understand why the Rockets don't use him more. Jabari will come out and hit 2-3 shots, and then he won't touch the ball again for 2 quarters. Yeah. And then they'll come back in at the end of the game, then they'll try to get him involved. I understand last season what Ime said to us.
I guess
about
that's probably it. That's probably the whole clip. I don't think he has anything else to say about Spurs.
Or the scheme, or like, well, they're not using him, or of a player. Yeah. Most of these guys are building up into the connector.
Yeah. He's just talking about the Houston Rockets. All right, well, that's it. Did he hate? Yeah, kind of. He kind of hated on us. Was all of it wrong? No. Yeah, we haven't won a championship. That's true. Okay. Still nonsense. Spurs are so much better than Houston Rockets, and it's not even close. But sure. They beat us in a 7-game series. Sure, somehow, some way, because of experience, I guess. So silly. Anywho. Good segment, I think. He didn't hate at all. He kind of hated a little bit. Yeah, I mean, when somebody asks you, dude, they really beat on y'all. Like, what's your answer to that? And your response is, they ain't done anything? Have they made it to the play? Like, that's barbershop talk, dog. That is definitely hating. But he gave us a little credit, I guess. He was like, no, they're good. I mean, Steph Castle and Wemby, he's good, but they ain't done nothing yet. No, that's as kind as you could have hated, I think. You can't hate kinder than that. All right, guys, let's do one more segment. Let's listen to what Mitch... Man, this is kind of weird, though. Going over what Mitch has to say, and we're... Well, when we even... If the Spurs got a... It's okay. We're going to do the Mitch and Wemby, and then the next 3 days, I guess. Maybe we'll post the Fred one later tomorrow. Maybe. I think that's maybe what we need to do. All right. San Antonio Spurs had a phenomenal game against the... I forget. We got so many wins. The Hornets. We took care of the Hornets. We beat them down, gave them the belt as we should. Really impressive, especially going against a team that can get hot at any given moment, like the Charlotte Hornets can. But the Spurs were incredible. In every single game, you get at least 6 plays from Wemby where you say, wow, I've never seen that before. It's kind of crazy because I used to say that same thing about Manu. I would say like every game is something Manu does, and I'm like, whoa, I've never seen that before. Wemby does it like 5 times, bro. It's crazy. All right, so before going into what Mitch Johnson had to say, and then we'll look at what Wemby had to say. Big shout out to Jacob and Andrew for ordering most recently on the shop. If you guys are interested in getting some merch, go on over to clanthemerchfan.com. Link in the description. Go check it out. I appreciate the love nonetheless. And there's more designs that's just on here. You just go down and hit view all products. They don't let me put them all on this one webpage for some reason. All right. Let's see. Mitch Johnson, my goat. My goat. He's my goat. He's my goat today.
A 5.5 minute stretch in the fourth quarter without giving up points, and that seemed to be where you took control of the game. What did you see from your group in that stretch?
I thought we settled in. The third quarter got up and down a little bit, got a little open, and they are hard to guard when the game is like that. And I thought we did a really good job of getting our defense to set, even not off of makes. Obviously, it's always easier to get organized off of makes, but I thought we did a good job getting set and just being connected and making them have to play through their counters or just that initial, shooter coming off, trying to get a look because they are so good at getting those guys looks, and then the progression to the next guys off that. They can really space you out and get you a little spread. So I thought we did a good job just being connected in that stretch and then rebounding, finishing the possession.
Our team defense is the best it's ever been, by the way. Like, it was flowing so well. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful basketball.
With the boards.
You mentioned before the game you wanted to limit paint touches so that they couldn't spray out to three-point shooters. I think they had like 30 points in the paint compared to 58 for you guys. How do you think you guys did defending the paint tonight, and how?
Caps, you are a mod, okay? Caps, you are a mod. You are not talking about the Spurs right now, Caps. I don't want to take your mod privileges away. I'm just kidding. I won't do. But what are you talking about? Hold on, I got to address this in the chat. We'll listen to Mitch in a minute. But did you just call the Spurs cocky? Did you say the Spurs? You said this team better come in humble, or they're in for a rude awakening. And then you went on to say, I think they're getting cocky and I don't like it. What are you talking about? Where do you get that from? They have been nonstop humble this entire time. They've been nonstop talking about the process of everything. They haven't been getting ahead of themselves. They haven't been talking about the championship or anything like that. Wemby is somebody that's very confident, like, obviously. He always dropping gems every single second. But he's a monster, obviously. Yes, all the interviews they have been doing nationally have been cocky. I do not see that. I don't know. You guys told me to go back and watch the Champagny interview. I didn't see that as cocky at all. Wembanyama's like, Wemby's always like this. Wemby was like his rookie year. He talked about when he came into the league, he was like, and actually Kobe said this too when he first got to the league, but he was actually shocked by how little people work. Like, he was like, all these guys I looked up to, that's it. That's all they do. They don't care as much as I do. Like, he's just like that. Okay. You can see him play. Some people, here's the thing. I can deal with a little bit of arrogance if you're really good at what you do, right? I can't deal with arrogant ignorance, like somebody who don't know what they're talking about, right? But is so arrogant behind it. Wembanyama, I don't know. I think it's pretty much justified. Like, but no, just saying that his team has gotten cocky, I don't see that at all. They've been focusing in on the process. They haven't been getting ahead of themselves. They're constantly giving each other credit for how well the other person played. I don't see this team as cocky at all. I think that you're looking too into it. Julian has been in a slump lately. Oh wait, that's not Cavs. Julian's streaky. Like, that's just gonna happen. He'll be in a slump and then he'll give you like 30 points in some random night. So he just like that. I don't cocky. I don't see it, and I'll be the first to say it too. I'll be the first to be on here and be like, this team's getting cocky. You guys know how I went at DeJounte Murray when I thought he was like overly cocky at times. But no, I don't see this team as cocky at all. And you know what? Screw all the little interviews. Hold on, I'm gonna say this too, and then we'll listen to Mitch. Screw the interviews. Hold on, let me put it just on myself. Screw the interviews. Do not worry about the interviews. You're focusing in on well, did he say this in this interview? Did he say this in this interview? I don't care about that. First off, I'm not seeing what you're seeing when it comes to that. But what you really need to pay attention to, whether you know how cocky this team is getting, how cocky they're getting, watch how they're actually playing. Because this is why when we went on that long stretch and we were blowing out teams, I thought that took quite a bit of humility from the Spurs to not underestimate anybody. They treated every single team with the adequate amount of respect. Every single time. It didn't matter how many wins that team had on their record. The Spurs went into those games playing as hard as humanly possible. They went against the Lakers, and the Lakers sat Luka and LeBron, and the Spurs did not play that team as if LeBron and Luka weren't there. Wemby came in playing as hard as humanly possible. We had Steph Castle going for a block, which I thought he was going to be out several games, mind you. He went for a fast break block that he should not have went for, and we were up by 30. He fell on his back, came back the next game. Like, this team is not playing cocky. They're playing with a respectful amount of fear with every single game they go in, and that is not a cocky team. So I don't want to hear anybody say that this team is cocky. There's nothing. You're just basing it off of some interpretations that you got from a couple interviews. Is Wemby cocky? Wemby's pretty confident. He's pretty arrogant at times. I mean, but he's Wemby. he's ridiculous. But every single time he's on the court, he doesn't treat the other team as if he's cocky. He doesn't go into these games where it's like, oh man, I don't have to do the dirty work, right? I'm good enough to just like do whatever I want. No, they do not skip steps, okay? And also, being a little cocky, especially from your superstar, is not that big of a deal. Michael Jordan was very cocky. Kobe Bryant was very cocky. Shaquille O'Neal was very cocky. It's not a big deal. But saying this team as a whole is cocky, no, they're not. They're playing every single team with the adequate amount of respect. Every single time. So I take huge, maybe offense is too strong of a word, but like I do not like that. That's whack.
Obviously, Victor went into that a lot. What did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Victor was locked in, did a good job communicating. I thought Luke was really, really good too. And we can still continue to be better on the backside, communicating to the guys in front of us that can't see the whole picture. And I think that's probably the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the biggest things we can continue to take a jump on. Just, you know, those guys.
I agree this team is very cocky. I miss the old Spurs. I'm sorry, did the old Spurs have Tony Parker? Are we joking right now? We had a player, we literally had a player cheat on his girl for his teammate's wife. Are we serious? I miss the old Spurs. You guys got to take your nostalgia glasses off, okay? I was there for it too. You got to take the nostalgia glasses off. Yes, the Spurs were a little bit more quiet, but who cares? This team, I don't know. That's ridiculous. Good God. I miss the old Spurs. Old Spurs wouldn't stand for this. They wouldn't be cocky at all. We had Tim Duncan literally say, we're going to win the finals. He literally said that. We're going to take care of it this time. Really, literally said that. Come on now. It's okay to be a little cocky, a little arrogant. I think it's more so just confidence than anything. But
guys fighting through different actions and not knowing who's, you know, maybe behind them, getting ready to set a screen or flash or whatever it may be. So the communication can be better. But I thought Luke and Victor did a great job, man in the middle. And
I just heard something. I don't know what that was.
And I thought we did a great job of fighting through screens. Like I said, they got guys that are dynamic with and without the basketball. And so, yeah, I mean, 18 assists for them and 30 points in the paint are two numbers that on the surface feel good. We'll have to look back at the tape and really dive in. But thought we did a decent job there.
Near triple-double for...
Well, you said that wasn't cocky, though? Well, I thought when we were talking about cocky, we're talking more like self-consumed. And I would say Tony Parker was very much so about himself at times. Undoubtedly so. But Tony Parker was really great. And I love Tony. But come on.
Victor, what did you think of that playmaking aspect of his game tonight?
It's a huge part of his growth, and I think he's really embraced that.
I just don't like how how young we are and talking like we are the best team in the league and beat anyone. Do you think I'm going to ask you a serious question, okay? Do you think Michael Jordan was quiet his entire career, his entire life, and his thought process was one of meek humility his entire life? And then when he won his first championship, that's when you got Mike? Or was Mike always Mike? Do you think Kobe became Kobe once he won his, let's say, second championship, because that's when he was more involved? Do you think that's when Kobe became Kobe, and then it's like, okay, now he can talk? What are we talking about? Kobe Bryant, even, when he came in as a rookie, he wouldn't even bring back. They did the little hazing thing where it's like, yeah, the rook got to bring in the bags. And Kobe's like, I ain't doing that. The Spurs can say that the Spurs can believe that they're the best, while simultaneously respecting everyone else and respecting the game, respecting the process, and understanding that they're not as good as they could be. It doesn't mean anything.
Understanding how he can dominate the game and create advantages for others, whether that's screening, passing, spacing.
I just hate. I'm sorry, Mitch. I just hate that argument. I hate the be quiet until you win. No, if this is your personality, if this is who you are, if you're confident, be yourself. Talk your mess. I don't agree, and the Spurs haven't even really been doing anything like that. They haven't been talking crazy, but I don't agree with people who talk a lot and then they lose and then they get quiet. I don't like that. Okay, I think Dylan Brooks does that a lot. Yeah, that bothers me. But if you're gonna talk your stuff, if you're gonna say I feel like I'm the best, say you're the best. We got Carter Bryant saying he's gonna be the second greatest defender of all time. Hold on to that. Why would I sit here and be like, you're too young to be talking like that? Really? Why? You should have been saying that since you were 2 years old. Screw everybody. We should be the bully. I wish the Spurs were more cocky. I'll quadruple down on it. I wish the Spurs actually were cocky as you say they are. I wish they were.
You know, the defense at some point has to commit to taking away something, and depending on what that is or what they do, it presents him with an opportunity because he is so skilled.
I said what I said.
And so dominant in so many ways.
Use that double big lineup with Luke and Victor a little bit today. It hasn't been something you've gone to an extreme amount this year, I don't think, but what went into deploying it today, and how did you think it worked?
I don't think they're cocky, though.
I thought it worked well. I thought they did a good job. I think it's been something as much of circumstantial than that. I've voiced the desire. Part of it's been, again, the minutes math problem of playing them both and then getting one of their minutes spiked up too high. Part of it's having not enough reps to practice it. We're trying to be mindful of people's rest mentally, physically, and emotionally, and it's not.
See that comment right there? You're really setting yourself up pretty poorly there. You said, okay, then we'll agree to disagree. Watch this bite us in the A. Okay, dude, by you saying that, you're already assuming that if the Spurs were to lose in the playoffs, that it was because they were too cocky. And that's not necessarily true. You're jumping the gun before it even happens. You can always go back to, oh, we lost because we were too cocky. You're not going to expand. You need a little bit more mental flexibility here. If the Spurs lose in the playoffs, I guarantee you it's going to be more than because in some interviews, Caps interpreted them as being cocky. I guarantee you that's not it. And I even heard Wemby we listened to all these. I heard Wemby the other night say, we don't know how the playoffs is going to be. We have a coach who literally said, because they were like, hey, this team seems like they're ready for the playoffs, but, they are very young. And Mitch said, this is my first time going to the playoffs too. This team is not cocky. You're just making it up in your head. And then once I don't think they will. No, I'm hoping the Spurs win it all. But if the Spurs were to lose in the playoffs, you're going to come into the chat and say they were too cocky, even though you're just interpreting a few clips off of that. Whereas we've been listening to them this entire time. I've been watching them treat every team with respect. I would say that there was a few games early on the season where it was like, okay, you got a little ahead of yourself, but they reel themselves back in. You're just talking. The Spurs will lose and you'll be like, they were too cocky. No, dude.
There are times to do things that are great in idea, great in a conversation.
You're jumping
but
the gun.
If we haven't trained and repped it out and really have clear direction of what we're looking for in certain situations, same thing with small ball. It's tough then to ask them to go out in a game like that and execute at a high level. So at sometimes I understand why,
You're answering without even getting the adequate questions yet. You're just answering already.
Someone would be critical of my decision making, but part of it is protecting the guys and not doing something I think that they're as prepared for to the level of the accountability and standard that we're looking to play with.
What happened to the Nuggets clan? You took from that the Spurs were arrogant? That's what you took from that? That's what happened in the Nuggets game? That the Spurs were arrogant. You see what I'm saying? That you've already created the answer. This is what you're going to go. You're going with the narrative right now. You're not taking it for what it was. They got hot. The Spurs weren't moving the ball as well as we were moving before. We were forcing shots. We started playing their game. That happens to like every team ever that ever existed. That happened to the 2014 San Antonio Spurs as well. We had mishaps at times. Like what?
And I know that's a little bit ambiguous, but it's where you got to live at times.
People just like to see the 7'4" guy throw lobs to the 7'1" guy.
I do too.
How did Vic look to you just physically today with the ankle and everything?
He looked good.
I thought he was great. I thought he moved well. I thought he was.
Did he have his brace on, Chet?
The stance. I thought he did a really good job running the floor. I thought he looked good.
Keldon moved up to 4th all time in franchise bench points. When you hear that and then you reflect, how far he came from, in terms of embracing that role, what do you think of that transformation, so to speak?
Yeah, it's just been a joy to be a part of and have a up close view. Because when he did it, that idea was a far out vision in terms of the maximizing the reasoning behind it. And I don't know how much he embraced it at that time because there was no return on the investment for a while. And I think it's as good of an example as there are many that we have of Keldon and his.
Okay, so first you jump the gun in saying, well, the Spurs lose because they're cocky because of a few interviews that I've seen. And you're already saying, well, let's see what happens in the playoffs, because if they lose, then you can easily just say, oh, they lost. And now you're doing a straw man saying, okay, I'm wrong. All my takes are always wrong. I never said any of that. I'm not engaging with that. I guess I already did. But yeah, I can objectively criticize my team. No, it's fine to criticize, but what you're basing that off of is just silly. Yeah, like, I would agree with you. First off, I'm not seeing it through the interviews. I'm seeing multitude of instances of them being pretty humble. But even if you were to say, okay, I look at a few clips and I agree with you, okay, that's a little cocky. There's been times where I said, dang, Wemby got really arrogant with, his answer on that one. Like, I've said that. But I would agree with you if that was also being shown on the court, which I'm not seeing. Saying that because a team came back against us, we were just cocky, that's not necessarily true. The flow of the game, sometimes you start to get a little cold. Sometimes it happens with every team. Is every team just cocky? Or actually, a better statement would be, because even if I gave you the Nuggets, even if I said, okay, in that Nuggets game, we got a little cocky. Even if I said that, if I said in that one Nuggets game, the Spurs got cocky, does that mean that you're cocky? If someone does one bad thing, does that mean they're a bad person? I think you're jumping too much. I need more than just a couple interview clips and a loss to the Nuggets. I've been watching this team go against bad teams, and that'll really show you how cocky a team is. And they respected all of them. So no, I don't think this team is cocky.
Commitment, invest into this organization, everything that we've asked of him, and he continues to show and represent.
Going back to Vic, he said that reaching the 65 games rule, the 65 games is really important to him. Just wondering, as a coach, how do you manage that, and is it important to you as well?
Yeah. Victor probably actually, in my opinion, Victor has the longest list of things that he wants to do that are important to him, probably in the history of basketball. And they all are important to me as well. there's a lot that goes into that, and at times we have to make tough decisions because on that long list there are still things that we prioritize and put at the top of the list. But that guy, I think, is...
And you know what, honestly too, you know, the Spurs needed a little bit more arrogance. Maybe not arrogance, but like a little bit more toughness and nastiness, right? But I don't think that's even cocky. That's probably a little, yeah, that's not even cocky. But they needed a little bit extra oomph because teams were whooping on them. I know what they need. They need a little bit more swagger. I don't necessarily think that's cocky, but they needed a little bit more swagger, and I think they got it because teams were kind of beating on them at one point in the season.
Going to challenge us as long as we're all here to continue to match that desire to keep checking those things off that list.
Coach, the 6-game homestand, all of them against postseason contenders.
Wait, no, EJ, I think you missed what I was saying. It was an analogy. You said no one's saying a cocky person is a bad person. No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying that, well, if you're responding to me, I don't know if you respond to me. What I was saying that if I do one thing, if you, yes, say you, okay, EJ, you did one thing and you were a little cocky when you went in about it. I don't know what that thing is. Just say you were a little bit cocky. You overestimated yourself a little bit. Does that mean that overall you're a cocky person? I don't think so. Very similar to if someone does a bad thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're overall a bad person. Because you can be cocky in that instance and then immediately self-reflect and be like, oh, wait, I should have handled that a little bit differently, right? You doing that in and of itself, I think will mean that you're probably not really a cocky person, right? That's what I was saying. Okay, I understand that. Yeah. No, I wasn't saying a cocky person's a bad person or anything.
Some of the best teams in the league were in here, and the only one you dropped was one in which Victor didn't play, and that came against one of the best teams in the league as well. So just your thoughts here on this homestand here as it comes to an end.
You know, you feel the intensity and the competitiveness of...
You know who do come across as cocky, though? I'll say Jalen Williams comes across as very cocky. He comes across as very cocky. I've seen enough interviews of him. He seems pretty cocky.
Those teams you're discussing and the urgency that a lot of them have. And I think it's been really, really good for us to go through these games and, you know, find out about other teams and find out about ourselves. And we've had to be in a lot of different types of games, whether it's a little bit open and having to cover a lot of distance defensively, matching some physicality in a lot of different ways, late game execution, you know, seeing different ways that people guard us. And all these experiences are hopefully lessons that we turn into knowledge and wisdom moving forward.
Nice. We just haven't done anything in the playoffs. Things can go super sideways in round one. The West is stacked. The Spurs know that. They talk about it. Like, I just feel like you're saying a lot of things that obviously it's your interpretation of it. But I don't know. I feel like for anything that you say that you're like, oh, the Spurs said this thing and that was cocky. Like there's like 50 million examples that we've gone over like after every game of them not being cocky. But I don't know. And the way that they're playing, I don't think they play cocky. All right, I'm gonna listen to Wemby.
Did you feel overly rested coming back after the game off?
Now, Wemby did start toying with his food. He started toying with his food in this one. Now, by the end of that game, they were toying with their food. He started having a lot of fun. He started just throwing out his bag just because, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. The inflammation in my body is basically down everywhere except in one place.
Hey, yo. Y'all ain't gonna clip that, are you? Leave our boy alone. Let's just move on. Next question.
What would that one place be?
No, don't ask that. Why did he ask that? All right, well, that was the Wemby interview. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, like, hey, yo. I know, Cap's like, what's going on?
My ankle.
You started
The
blocking the ball off
dude,
the
the
backboard.
comedic timing of that, how it just got quiet.
Body is basically down everywhere except in one place.
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
What would that one place be?
I mean, my ankle.
You started blocking the ball off the backboard back
The reporter asked, "Where is that one place?" That's what he asked.
to yourself. What inspired you to start doing that move?
Nothing really. The goal is to catch it, but sometimes it's not possible. So, plan B is to throw it against the backboard and grab it. Simple as that.
Also, you saw something in the box score when you sat down and heard something.
Yeah, they fixed my third block shot. I had two recorded at the end of the game, but they missed one.
Triple double, the playmaking aspect of it. How much fun is that getting for you, being able to set up?
He's Wemby. You said cocky Wemby, like I said. First off, there's nothing he said that was cocky. But second, it's Wemby. It's Wemby. The idea that your personality is supposed to be something until you win a championship is just not true for anybody. Any champion, any of them. Name them. Who is so significantly different as far as how they answer questions, as far as how they carry themselves early on than they were when they won a championship? Not really. No. Michael Jordan was always Michael Jordan. You could hear stories about Michael and how he used to play with his brother. He was always like that. Tim Duncan was always like that. Tim Duncan always had like kind of he was always quiet. He didn't really like interviews that much. But Tim Duncan talked trash. Also, when Tim Duncan got to the league, he was a little older. But he talked a little trash. But Tim Duncan was very aware of how good he was. Tim talked trash. Yeah, he talked trash. Yeah. Yeah, obviously. Every former player that played against Duncan talks about it. DeMarcus Cousins talked about it. Tim Duncan always was like that.
Guys with lobs.
This is who he is. This like, just by you saying like you're gonna accept this when you win, but you don't accept it. Well, I mean, we're winning right now, but you won't accept it if you lose. Like you just are who you are, bro. You can't just shift personalities based on the outcome. Be who you are. Wemby's like that. He's and I've accepted it. He's Wemby.
It's one more weapon. My playmaking most of the times happens by like rolling and not even touching the ball, like getting guys open by my positioning, with my gravity. But I can do that too.
A couple lobs to Luke tonight.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun minutes.
You feel you know how your guards feel throwing them to you now, or how does that?
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. It's fun to be on both sides.
Vic, you mentioned the ankle. Last game you warmed up, looked like with some ankle braces on. Today you didn't have them. How did you like using those? And
not very much. Not a big fan.
A lot of your, durability is about flexibility. Did that sort of get in the way of that, or?
Yeah, that's true too. Wemby doesn't have an ego problem like most cocky NBA players. Yeah, he does. That's another thing too. That's another difference between like him and Kobe. Kobe had to really learn, more about team ball as it went on. Wemby, I think from the gate, he has been pretty humble in his approach to things. He's very confident, but he's been humble. Like when he went up to Don Barlow, asking him about advice, trying to get advice from him, like that's crazy. Like you don't get that from a lot of guys that have been great their entire lives and they get to the NBA. A lot of times they have like a big ego issue, like you said. No one can tell them anything. But yeah. And also, I just don't like that. I don't like the fact that we're going to sit here and talk about Victor Wembanyama when it comes to this Whereas you have Anthony Edwards, like, literally yelling at his coach, like, you're supposed to give me the ball. We all liked that. I liked it. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a dope moment. But is he cocky? Yeah, very much so. But I don't think anybody sits here and be like, you need to win a championship before you be Ant. No, he's just Ant.
Yes and no. I think it's okay. When you're trying to be protective, sometimes it might be okay to reduce flexibility. Never in the off season, but in season, I think sometimes it's okay. And also, of course, it's okay to be protective, but it's better to use the least amount of equipment possible, ideally, in my opinion.
How important is training your feet and your ankles, like just throughout the year, to help you stay durable?
Super important. More in the off season, because a big part of our job is recovery, and not necessarily progression in terms of lifting and stuff or strengthening during the year. I mean, so, but as much as we can, yeah.
Worked for y'all well today that didn't work against these guys last time, and how well are you guys starting to figure out opponents like the second and third time that you've seen them? How well are y'all able to adjust to those different teams?
I think I had a lot of responsibility in the loss last time against them, and obviously I played better today. And the rest is just progression.
And by the way, I want to say this. I probably should have said this earlier. Caps is undoubtedly, just give you some credit, Caps. Caps is undoubtedly a Spurs fan. Like a great Spurs fan. Like, he's a big Spurs fan. I don't want to throw, because I did see a comment earlier. I should have addressed it because now that people like kind of talking back against Caps. I do want to say, like, just because you have a horrible, terrible, crazy take like Caps has right now, which it is an awful take. It's really bad. Like, it's really, really bad. Like, it's no one has a worse take than Caps right now on the planet, or Wemby's home planet. Like, no one has this bad of a take. But Caps is a fan. He is a true fan. He just has a bad take.
In general, there were many aspects of the game where we dominated them.
Thank you, Clan.
And on both
You're
sides of
welcome.
the floor. And that shows because we won 3 out of 4 quarters. So basically the whole game was steady, dominating.
We'll do a quick French now. Yeah, here for dinner.
Victor, sur la toute fin de saison et en vue des playoffs, est-ce que tu considères que ce serait une bonne idée pour toi que ça soit...
Okay. Now it's in French. Well, any of our French people want to translate once this is uploaded, that would be great. Moving on. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to hop... Wait, why did I think my camera was right there for a minute? Because my ring light's right there. I'm going to hop off. I appreciate all the love. Obviously, we have the Clippers coming up. That's going to be a big one. And then we have 2 games in a row. It's crazy. You got the Clippers, then you got the Jazz, right? I got to see what my hotkeys are because, my Stream Deck is completely not working anymore. I don't really know what to do with it. Let's see here. But, yeah. Yeah, and then we got the Jazz the night after. We got the Suns. Okay. I get to watch this with Pops. That'd be cool. And Suns, that's going to be a big game because we're probably going to play them first round. Wow, we're so close to the end of the season. It's so nice. I'm ready for it to end. Really want it to end so we can get to the playoffs. All right, guys. I'll get with you later. I appreciate the love. I'll see you on Monday night. It's probably more of like a brief stream because it'd be late. We'll literally be going over the game Probably look at a press. Man, I don't even know if we'll look at a press conference. It'll be so late. Maybe we'll look at a press conference and then just get ready for the Kings. So, all right, y'all. Have a good night.